Okay, so we're going to look at the side view first. I think timing-wise, you're pretty close. I still think you're being a little bit aggressive with your swing. You're pulling it up into the backswing, right there. If you just watch your head through the middle of the approach, right there. See the head
Yep.
goes forward?
Yep.
That's you pulling your swing up. Makes your head go forward. Okay? The harder you pull, the higher it goes, the higher the ball speed. Okay? Push rate and everything looks very good. I think balance on a lot of the shots, the balance is better. Okay, this one here still kind of stepped off a little bit. You kind of settled in the last couple shots. You threw a lot better. Okay, but when there's that extra motion of the foul line, that's a result of pulling. But if you pull up, you pull down. Okay. If we look at a different shot from the side view, okay, there, had the foot go over a little bit, but still couldn't hold the balance. Still kind of pulled. Whenever that follow through stays kind of straight and low, that's another sign of muscle tension and pulling. And one more shot from the side view we'll take a look at. So very similar motion. That one there, even better balance though. That's one of your better shots.
And better follow through.
Correct.
And we didn't see that follow through at all last year.
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's a lot better spot there. That's actually not too bad of a position if you're able to hold that. Now the arm should fall back down. We don't want to hold the arm up, but watch as the arm falls back down, you end up stepping off.
Right.
Okay, and that's usually just a sign you have to fight for your balance. Okay, so let's go into the analysis here. Stance is fine, no big issue. You want to hold the ball steady through one. I think timing-wise, like I said, you're going to be very good. Ball's out on two. A little bit forceful. When you're forceful, you can come close to locking. We could be smoother and easier with that push away. I think it's about the right spot, right about belt level or so. It should come down on the next step. Let me do a good example here for you. Let's use this guy. When he's done with that push away, you see he's not quite locked. You're reaching out more, which means you're being more forceful. When that push away is more forceful, so is the rest of the swing.
Okay.
Okay. So his ball got just past the leg, just below his butt on the next step. There's your ball came shoulder high.
Yep.
It was the same position one step ago. You have a shorter step and your ball passes by 2.5 balls. That's you pulling. Okay? Yep. Okay, so that's where things are going off. You're pulling the swing up. He lets his ball kind of fall up. Head of the backswing is there. Head of your backswing is there. As you see, your swing got a lot higher.
Right.
Okay? The harder you pull, the higher it goes. Okay?
And then more ball speed.
Exactly right. Yep. Foot stops, ball comes through. Really great position there. You're ending in time also, and really not too bad, but notice this is shot, arm stayed straight,
Yep.
foot went over, but when you stop that arm, it makes you fall off balance.
Right.
Okay? If we watch with the bowler on the right, it's just a really nice relaxed motion. He's not pulling his swing around. So he's a little bit lazier. Okay? And that's why he can be that lazy at the foul line. I mean, look at that arm, it's just like it's floppy. Okay? And that's a ball speed kind of low to mid 18, rev rate low to mid 300. Okay. With you, you can kind of see how the beginning is really not bad. I think the push is a little bit forceful. In fact, watch this other push rate. I'll show you here. Look how smooth and easy this push rate looks. It's almost going to look slow. See that how smooth that is? Okay. In comparison to yours now, yours is forceful and quick. When that's forceful and quick, so is the rest. So we're going to really smooth out that push rate more. It's going to feel like a smoother, maybe like a 3/4 push, not a full push, so you don't lock out. But then, once you're done with that push away, you have to be lazy. And as you know, it's a lot of work to be lazy. Sounds silly, but you know exactly what I mean.
Yep.
That ball will fall down, it will fall up. So it's almost to you, it would feel like a low backswing. And that's kind of a good way to fool yourself. And we'll do that a little bit today. We'll work on some shots, on the push straight, but then we'll work on some shots where I want you to feel like the backswing doesn't go above your butt. It'll likely still go shoulder to head high,
Yeah.
but it won't feel like that. And, you know, if you remember from last year, you have to kind of fool your muscles into doing things. When you think at low backswing, your body just knows enough to know that low backswing, you can't pull or your backswing can't be low. Okay? If we have less pull up, we're going to have less pull down. And we want more shots like this one here where you're more stable at the foul line. This is that better one. Okay? But even there, backswing got kind of quick right through there. But it all stems from the initial motion with that push away. So we can smooth that out a little bit. I do think your balance, everything is better than last year. So you're working on the right things. Muscles can fight you. You just got to stick with it. Let's go to back view stuff.
Still push the ball out here.
Yep,
We do.
exactly. Still pushing out to the right. Okay. And that kind of makes that second step go to the right also. Okay. So ideally that second step should come right in front of the other one. I think your first step is nice and straight. That second step should go in front of the other one.
Right.
And you're pushing to the right. Okay. And that gets you to the right. Now what we were looking at is your target. Around second arrow or so?
I'm trying to look around second arrow.
Right. So everything hit right at the second arrow. Okay. Because you're kind of walking to the right. And then if you're walking to the right, you get in the way of your swing, you can't hit your target. If we do a comparison here, this is what we'd like the step 2 to look like. And you can do this at home with the mirror so you see where the step goes. See how it came right in front?
Yep.
Okay. So then there's that nice slot for the ball, and the push rate stayed right in line with the shoulder. So at home with a mirror to the front of you, just 2 steps and stop, probably with the ball. 1, 2, the push stays in, the step stays in. Okay. If the push and the step go to the right, you also have less balance. Okay. If we look at overall drift from start to finish with you, let's check. That's about where your left heel started. We'll just mark your heel as a reference. Yep, a couple of boards to the right.
Yep.
About 3, and that's why you're missing your target. Your average shot is 7.5, you're looking at 10. That's because you're walking to the right. Part of it is that second step. Okay. A lot of the stuff you can do at home with the mirror, even with that finishing position, it's a great exercise at home with the mirror without a ball. You have your arm up like it's in the backswing. Okay. Just put shoulder, head high. Okay. Take a slide, take a swing, nice and loose and limp with the arm, back foot down, leg to about 730. If you're forceful and you pull, you can throw yourself off balance. So a lot of the fine tuning can be done at home with the mirror. Let's go to close up and release. There's that push to the right. Hand position is good. You're right on the back of the ball, so that's a good thing. Maintain the up. I think it's going to look pretty good on the down, too. Right in the center of the ball still. Just a little bit early turn right there. We're talking 0.2 of a second now. That's even better than last year, I think. Thumb will come out, fingers rotate. Okay. So not too bad on that. Here again, we can see that back foot didn't clear. That's a sign you probably pulled.
Right.
Okay, we always want the toes to point left. If the toes stay to the right, it's hard to get the leg to go left. Okay. But you've got to still work on being lazier. You're being more forceful than you know. Okay.
I feel 100 times better than last year.
Correct.
I still got a lot
Yep,
of work.
I agree. Let's take a look at a shot from last year. See what you were doing last year. I do think it's better because some shots this year you actually do have balance. The leg goes over. Last year you started more rigid.
And that was one of the things I know we really worked on was ball position, relax.
Yeah.
And
And here you can see your arm really stop. Back foot stay way behind you. Okay. So a lot of things are better than last year. I think you're pulling your swing a little bit more though.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got to really work on just a little bit smoother, easier push, but the feeling of a low backswing is what we're going to work on. Because I think you're pulling up more than you know. Now you're very sneaky with that, but that doesn't mean you're not doing it.
Right.
Okay. And even if we get the ball speed down a little bit more, you'll have more ball motion. Um, you'll be able to see the lane as other people see it. With a high ball speed, you almost have to point it to hit the pocket. All right, let's stop the disc here. We're going to work on that stuff.
Okay.
So take